middle-class family on the East Coast of the United States, and am both highly educated and gainfully self-employed. My success in my field and my access to various platforms to safely speak and write about sex are undoubtedly influenced by my racial, body, and class privilege, just to name a few. As a white sex educator and writer, I have benefited by way of white privilege from both past and current racist reproductive health research practices, laws, and acts in this country and beyond. To not acknowledge this harm here would be to perpetuate it. The information and perspectives I share in this book are heavily informed by my personal positions of privilege, and my perspective on these issues will be limited by these lenses. There is always more to learn about myself and my work as it and the world around me changes and evolves. As a reader, diversifying who you learn about sex and sexuality from is always encouraged. In the enhancement, you'll find a variety of other sex educators and writers to learn from, though I heavily recommend that you also look beyond what I have to offer. Introduction. Hey, we're all getting screwed by sex education. I talk to people about sex for a living. Sometimes one or two-on-one in my therapy practice, sometimes in smaller groups of 10 to 100 in a college workshop setting, and sometimes to 500 strangers in the middle of a modern art museum in Austria. The first thing I like to do in all of these contexts is ask my audience, what did you learn in high school sex education? The first response I always get is either dead silence or near resentful laughter. Nothing is usually shouted out first. Sometimes the period of silence is so long, I start with my own example. Well, I don't remember getting much sex education myself, besides the classic condoms on bananas relay races. The unrealistic banana aside, I never did understand why we needed to learn how to race each other on competing teams for our future safer sex lives, but hey, I wasn't making the rules. Small smatterings of laughter always break the ice and help strangers feel more comfortable talking to you about sex. More importantly, once the people in the audience know that the sexpert in front of them is also a real human with her own lackluster sex education history, their own examples follow. That penis and vagina sex is the only real way to have sex? I only learned about heterosexual people. STIs, unwanted pregnancy, abstinence only. We watched scary birth videos. I didn't have any sex ed. Our gym teacher was so uncomfortable we mostly talked about the weather. Whether I'm teaching on a college campus, at a high school, or to a room full of adults in my local sex toy shop, these responses rarely change. The younger generations might utilize Google and TikTok more, sure, but the state of formal U.S. sex education seemingly hasn't evolved much. I make sure to congratulate the few younger students who boastfully tell tales of their uber-inclusive and modern, our whole lives, OWL programs taught at their Unitarian Universalist youth groups. Otherwise, in a country that only requires sex education in 28 states, 15 of which are not required to present medically accurate information, the responses to, "What did you learn in high school sex ed class?" remain, depressingly, evergreen. It's not like sex ed has stayed essentially the same because it's working. As of this writing, 70% of U.S. states have requirements to stress abstinence as the only or preferred option for safer sex. And yet, the United States has one of the highest teen birth rates and the highest STI rate of all industrialized countries. European sex education is doing a little better, sure, but sex education in schools is mandatory in only 11 out of 25 European countries. And research has reported that sex education teachers are rarely satisfactorily trained, and that the classes often